Ready to dominate? Welcome to the Operation Dominate podcast with your host, Chris Martinez from Houston, Texas, owner of Love My Clean Windows, Love My Clean Roof, helps small business owners grow their business through Copycat Entrepreneur, helps churches grow through Pastor's Marketer, but most important, a family man who loves his wife and kids. And your other host, Gary Guyman, owner of Pressure Wash Cincinnati and Christmas Lights Cincinnati, godfather of the marketing mafia, husband to his best friend Jennifer, father to Tyler and Garrett, and owner of 100 University of Kentucky t-shirts. Let's dominate. What's going on? What's going on, Mafia? My boy Chris Martinez in the house.
You there?
I'm here, man. I'm here. I know you're working through some issues with internet and stuff, so we're gonna trudge through as best we can. For you guys that are watching, hey, thanks for watching Operation Dominate podcast. And man, it's gonna be a great series. I'm believing that not only can we change your business, but I'm believing that we're going to change your life, because there's so much opportunity available for you during this series to get to that next level. And we started talking about the Wolfpack last week, and I got to spend time with my Wolfpack this past weekend. Chris Martinez got to hang out, and man,
man, how you doing?
How you doing, man? Two things that we know we want to do in life. One is to change people's lives, and another is to disrupt lives by giving them things that can change mindsets. So, hey, three things that we want to that I want to talk about real quick, and then I want Chris to jump in on our Wolfpack series. But three things I want to talk about real quick about finding dudes of like minds to be friends. Because here's the thing: if we're not friends with other guys that are like-minded like us, we're never ever going to be successful in getting our Wolfpack. So the three things that keep us from doing that, I want you to talk. I want you to think about this while we're talking. Is time, fear, and our comfort. We're not comfortable. It's uncomfortable to be friends with other dudes. It's a little bit out of the comfort zone. We don't have the time to do it, and we're afraid of what other people might say. Now, my boy has a little fear. He's got a little fearness of the gayness, but I love him. And it has nothing to do with that. So, man, Wolfpack, tell us about
Wolfpack.
Oh,
yeah, man. So, dude, this is actually an awesome series, man. Going into it, I didn't think it was going to, I didn't know it was going to be as powerful as it is today, man. It's pretty powerful. It's catching on within the mafia. Everywhere we go, it seems like people are like, oh, Wolfpack. Matter of fact, someone just commented on the Facebook little thing, a pack of wolves, man. So, first off, Gary, can you hear me good, man? I've had some internet problems out here today. Awesome, dude.
Good, man.
So, yeah, man, one thing I think that I would like to talk about, there's three things that we're going to talk about in this Wolfpack series right now. Accountability will be the first thing I want to talk about. But before we talk about that, I want to share my story with you guys. Some of you may know my story. Some of you may never heard my story. I'm going to give you the two parts of it. First, my personal, and then within the business, and how a Wolfpack changed my life. It literally has changed my life. Some of you may or may not know this, but my mom was a drug addict. My dad was a drug addict. At the age of 2 years old, I was placed in foster care. By the time I was 11 years old, I lived with 13 different families. That's 13. That's being passed around from family to family to family to family. My mama don't want me. My daddy don't want me. These people don't want me. Let's push them off onto the next family. And what happened was that the results of that came in of me feeling worthless and me feeling emotional. I've been abused in every sense of the word abused, emotionally, physically, sexually. You name it, right, dude? I've been through it, right? And as I started to grow up, there was some limitations within my head that I was told, hey, these are your goals to reach for, right? This is what you have to look forward to: a drug addict, being in prison, being poor, being a bum on the streets. Those are the things that you have to look forward to. Matter of fact, it's okay, Chris, that that's how we were raised, right? And man, and then you just take that into business as that mindset. If you just take that mindset that I had and you just take it into a business where I feel like I'm worthless, I feel like I'm not good enough, I feel like maybe I don't have the talent or the abilities, right? And here's the cool part about it, man. I remember, some of you heard the story, but the SWAT team kicked down my door like January 21st or something, 4 o'clock in the morning, dude. You got masked up men with machine guns pointing them, get on the ground, get on the ground. And I ended up going to jail, spent about 3 nights in jail. I know it's not a long time, but they put me in solitary confinement because there was a federal investigation going on, along with a state investigation, along with the city investigation. So there was this huge ordeal going on. So there's a lot of time to think about things when you're, going to jail is one thing, but then solitary confinement's a whole other thing, dude. Like I've been to jail. Jail I can handle. Solitary confinement, man, that's tough, right? And I remember sitting in that solitary confinement, and I remember this thought came across my head: there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way. There has to be something better than this. There has to be more than this. There has to be more than just me selling dope. There has to be more than just me being a drug addict. There has to be more than just me being a bum on the street. So I started, it was probably the worst thing. I always say this: the worst thing that ever happened to me ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me. And here's what happened, man. I get out. It was a long, drawn out legal battle. Spent a ton of money trying to fight that battle, and I decided, man, I needed people in my life. I needed mentors in my life, right? You know what I did? Here's what I want you guys to understand. I was a scumbag. I was a liar. I was a thief. I was a cheater. I was a dope dealer. Nobody wanted to hang out with Chris Martinez. You know what I had to do? I joined a network marketing company so I could be around a bunch of yes men, a bunch of people that when I told them my dreams and goals, they weren't like, oh, you're crazy. You're just a Martinez. That's never going to happen. They had an interest in me, right? Because they want me to recruit. They want me to spend money with them. They're like, oh, man, you can do it. You can do it. Your dreams, right? And I took that. Like, I didn't know what they were trying to do. I didn't know they were just trying to get me to recruit, but I ran with it. I'm like, bro, I'm at every meeting, every Tuesday meeting. And then as I get into my business, fast forward a little bit, as I get into my business, I'm, no work coming in, right? And again, I got around people, right? It's always been people that have changed my life. And here's the number one thing I want to talk to you today about is accountability. That's where I'm going at with this story, is the accountability, right? So I told you earlier, I got a huge drug problem. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Your boy loved to do drugs. Not today, but there was a time, man, where it ran my life. It literally ran. I'd spend my last $5, and I ain't talking about just like a pothead. I'm talking about whatever I can get my hands on, right? I had to become, whenever you have accountability partners, you have to become vulnerable, right? You become vulnerable. Hey, listen, this is my weakness. This is where I struggle at. This is what still to this day, till this day, I still have accountability partners, because I know I'm just one wrong move away from losing everything. I'm one wrong move away from losing my marriage. I'm one wrong move away from losing my freedom. I'm one wrong move away from losing everything I've ever worked for. So you know what I do? I have accountability partners. I tell people my weaknesses. Hey Gary, this is my weakness. Hey Pastor Welby, this is my weakness. Hey mentor, this is my weakness, and I need you to hold me accountable in that. I need you to check on me. I need you which brings me to my next thing, authority, right? So we give accountability. Right? Hey, I need you to hold me accountable, but in order for you to hold me accountable, I got to give you authority to hold me accountable. Does that make sense to you, Gary? You hearing that?
Absolutely, man.
So,
absolutely.
So I got to get I have to be accountable. In order for me to be accountable, I have to give you authority. And Gary, real quick, will you share what you were telling me about the authority, about your pastor and how he gave authority and what kind of authority? I know this is. I want you to share that story because, man, it's pretty. That's what you need to do.
Absolutely. So our this series, Wolfpack, came from a series that was done at my church, Crossroads Church, about 3 years ago, and it's based on a book that our senior pastor, Brian Tome, wrote called The 5 Marks of a Man, and we talked about that in our last episode. But our teaching pastor, our campus pastor, had a struggle with pornography before he got into the ministry. And the first day that we went to this church, on stage, he told everybody that he struggled with pornography, and that was kind of the linchpin to us to tell us, all right, this is where real people exist, and we want to be here. Well, during the series Wolfpack, he talked about how what Chris was saying, having accountability was one part of it, but giving them the authority to have access to his passwords, to all of his social media, giving them authority to look at his internet search history, to do those things, to not only hold him accountable, but then to put his feet to the fire if he messed up. Because look, he just like an alcoholic, just like somebody who has been addicted to something, there's a recovery process. And during that recovery process, and we're humans, sometimes we fail. And because fixing ourselves is hard. Fixing ourselves is hard, which is why you need a wolf pack, because you can't fix yourself. And he talked about what that authority was. And the great thing about this series, and Chris, I'm going to have to show you these videos, but so our senior pastor went out west, and he hung out with 2 guys that are, I don't know exactly what the word is to describe them, but they're called wolfsmen. Like, they go out, they find wolves, and they study wolves, and man, they'll go up, and they hang out with the wolves in the pack, man. And so he got to watch this pack of wolves that obviously they've been tamed a little bit, but he got to watch this pack of wolves react in the wild and how they reacted to each other. And the one thing that you always saw was no matter who the leader of that pack was, the entire pack stuck together. And if one of the wolves got away from that pack and they tried to get away from the pack would go get that wolf and come back. So it was real hard for a wolf to get away from the pack once he got away from it, because that wolf had submitted to the authority of the pack. And that's what you have to do to submit to authority in that pack. And then the next step of that, accountability, authority, and action, is what we always talk about. It's what separates me from the guy who wants to own a business. It's what separates Chris from the guy who wants to do something in his life. What separates a lot of the people that are watching this from those people that are sitting back and saying you can't do it is action. You got to put it in action. Otherwise, it's just talk, and just talk doesn't get you anywhere. And too many times as men especially, we want to be lone wolves because we're taught to be lone wolves. Tough it out. You can do it. We don't need we don't need anybody. We can do this on our own. And I'm guilty of it. My wife calls me on it all the time. Tells me you need a mentor, you need friends, you need people in your life. And what do I say? I'm tough. I can handle it. I can do it. But the truth is this: lone wolves are losers. Lone wolves are outcasts, and lone wolves don't eat. Lone wolves don't eat.
That's right,
they're not
man.
big enough to take down the animal in the wild by themselves. They got to have the pack. And so what's the wild to us? The wild is our future. And Brendan, we're not talking about just dudes here. I'm just compartmentalizing it into one. But it's men, it's women, it's children. Everyone needs a wolf pack. You can't be a lone wolf. You cannot be a lone wolf. And too many times, lone wolves have gotten taken down because you are weak as a lone wolf.
That's right. Hey, I want to just touch back on that authority real quick, because you said something, man, in there where he was given, his passwords out. Like, hey, man, you got to hold me accountable, so I give you authority. Which for me, I do the same thing, man. My wife has every password. She has every password. She has my Facebook, not because she's crazy and she's gonna key up my car, but because I know the old Chris would have cheated on. I cheated on every girlfriend I ever had. So this one, I'm not screwing up, right? Like, hey, babe, here's my passwords. Here's everything that you need to know about me. I'm giving you the authority to check my inboxes. I'm giving you the authority to hold me accountable in this marriage. You know, I mean, because dude, I always tell my wife, if you leave, you better pack my bag too, because I'm going with you, girl. You ain't going nowhere without me, right? But yeah, man. And then that last part, just taking action. I just wanted to throw that in there because as husbands, for you husbands out there, it's okay to give your wife authority. You know, I know that as a man, it's like, you know what? I'm the man of my house, girl. You don't tell me what to do. But you know what, man? It's okay. It's okay. See, me and my wife have a great marriage. I got to hang out with Gary and his wife. I see that they have a great marriage. And I'm sure I didn't see Gary being like, girl, I'm the man over here. You don't tell me what to do, blah, 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 right? No, man. Gary, I know Gary. I seen the relationship, which made me have a whole nother level of respect for the dude than I ever even had before, and I already respected the dude. But it's okay to give your wife authority and say, hey, babe, hold me accountable on this marriage. It's okay, right? And then take action, like Gary says, lights, camera, action. Without action, all you have is a bunch of lights and cameras around, right? Who cares about lights and cameras without the action? When you want to go see the movie, you don't want to go see the lights and the camera. Like, imagine going to the movie and there's just lights and cameras, right? No, you want to see action, right? So you got to take action, man. And Gary was right. It's like, I know Gary gets to talk to a lot of people. I get to talk to a lot of people. And one of my favorite motivational speeches ever is by a guy named Art Williams. And he has this motivational speech called Just Do It. And it's like, great. He has this part where he goes, great, just do it. And then he'll say, oh, I want to sell my house. Well, great, just do it. Well, houses ain't selling. We'll do it anyway. I want to start my business. Well, just do it. And his whole motivational speech is just that. Hey, just do it, right? Fail over and over. Do it. Fail again. Do it again. Fail. Do it again. Then what happens? Hey, all of a sudden you get lucky, right? Have you ever heard that? Oh, you just got lucky. No, I just did it and failed and failed and failed. And now here I am, lucky, right? So accountability, authority, and then action, right? So, man, those are the three things that we're talking about today in the Wolf Pack. Gary, we didn't get to naming the Wolf Pack, though.
Got to name your Wolf Pack. So Chris talked a little bit about we got to hang out together in Houston for a couple days. And, the one thing he mentioned, my wife, I mean, she's as much as sometimes she probably doesn't want to have to go to places that I go to or do the things that I do. It's, we're a team, and I look at it that way. I mean, I failed every relationship before her so badly. I mean, so badly. And I decided that with this, it's going to be a different approach. And, I used to lock up my phone and lock up everything. And so we got a rule. There's no locks on anything, everything's an open book. And, there are times when we both struggle with trust issues sometimes, just because of past things that have happened in our lives. And so we got to always go back to knowing that she or me or I, that we're together. It's like Chris said, if she leaves, you better pack my bags, because I'm going with you. I mean, we're a team. We go together. But she's not my wolf pack, right? She's not my wolf pack. She is my wife. She is my spouse. She, our pastor talks about it like this. I consider her my best friend, but he does not consider his wife his best friend, because he says, I hold her at a higher place than a friend. She's at a higher place than a friend, because when God created woman, he took something out of the man and created the woman. So she is his continuance, and he is her continuance. They are one together, and we are one together. And but I do consider her my best friend. But at the same time, she's not my wolf pack, because as a man, we have to be challenged by other men. Now, she challenges me and she kicks me in the butt. She makes me put my big boy panties on sometimes, or like she likes to say, big girl panties. But at the same time, she challenges me to have a wolf pack, and she has always challenged me to do that. And you got to name out your wolf pack. And this weekend, we got to name out our wolf pack. Chris Martinez is someone that is in my wolf pack. He's someone that he holds a lot of the things like-minded like myself. And that's what you have to find in people is, and he's in Houston. I'm in Northern Kentucky. Are we going to be able to hang out physically all the time? No, absolutely not. But we're going to schedule time to talk once a week. We're going to build that accountability and authority in each other. And we'll both make the treks back and forth. I was just there. He's coming here. We're both going to be involved in each other's lives. We got to meet each other's wives. They're both great individuals. That's what makes us the people that we are, my wife and his wife. And so we know that we have the same like-mindedness. So that's what you have to do. You have to find those people in your life that have that same like-mindedness. A lot of times it comes in 3 different sectors: work, adventure, like physical activity, and interest. One of those 3 areas, you're going to find men that are going to fit in to your wolf pack, and then you got to name that pack out. So Chris Martinez is part of my wolf pack. And then we have to go out together and find other members of our pack to build that pack together, because a lone wolf he's going to fail, and he has to do everything on his own, and it's limited success. So the odds of making it as a lone wolf is very low. So you got to name out your wolf pack so others know who's in that wolf pack, so that when they come to take what's yours, they know, well, they're not just going to fight Gary Guyman, they're going to fight Chris Martinez. They're not just going to fight Chris Martinez. Right. They're going to fight Gary Guyman. And I don't mean physically, because our wars aren't of this earth, right? They're of kingdoms and a principalities in the air. And so all of that stuff that goes on isn't us boxing out with fists. Because trust me, somebody wants to throw down, we can go, but I don't want to mess up this pretty face. So it's more about how we fight, and we got each other's back, right? We got each other's back, and naming out your pack is important. Naming out that pack is important.
Hey, let me also say something too, man, because you said something here just a second ago, man. It's like you don't have to do it alone, right? A lone wolf, right? A lone wolf. My goals are so big. I heard this, Gary. You probably heard it too. If your goals aren't scary, they're not big enough, right? My goals Absolutely. Are scary. They are freaking me out scary. Like, right? They right. So without a wolf pack, I'll give you an idea, man. I want to make $1 million, dude. Not so I can have the nicest car, the nicest house, but I want, dude, you can't change the world without money. Let's just be honest, man. I want to make $1 million. Chris Martinez cannot make $1 million by himself. He's not smart enough. He's not bright enough. He's not talented enough to do it all by himself. Gary, you there? Mine says waiting. You there?
No, I'm still here, man. Yeah, I'm here. You're good.
All right, awesome. So this is what Gary was saying earlier. You don't have to do it by yourself. You shouldn't want to do it by for us. It's going to make $1 million now by myself. I have a wolf next to me named Gary Guyman saying, hey, Gary, I want to make $1 million. Hey, Gary, this is my goal. Hey, Gary, this is what I want to do. And Gary's on the other side saying, bro, let's put our heads together and let's figure it out. What are the obstacles you're going to have to go through? Let me help you. And Gary, I'm on the same. Gary can come to me and say, hey, Chris, I want to make $1 billion. And I'm like, whoa, dang, dude. Okay, let's do that then, So he's not killing the big prey by himself. I'm not killing the big prey by myself, but we're attacking it together. And you know what? We're looking for other members to join that wolf pack. We're looking for like-minded wolves for us to go out there, hunt, kill, and bring something home for mama to eat, right? And for us as well. So
that's right.
Man, that's right. A lot of stuff right there, dude.
It is. But you know what? It's good stuff. And here's a quick takeaway for everyone. Proverbs 17:17, and again, if you ever hear me quote a scripture, it's the Guyman version. So you're not going to go out and buy this on Amazon. But a friend loves at all times, but a brother is born for adversity. What's that mean? So A friend's always going to be there to love you, right? That's what a friend is. But a brother, your wolf pack is there to help you fight through the trials and the tribulations of owning your business, of building up your relationship, of being successful, of doing the work necessary to make you a better person. That's what a brother's for. That's what a brother's for. When we were kids growing up, my youngest brother, Jason, I'm in business with, we're 8 years apart. So we didn't really, we didn't grow up at the same time. But our middle brother, Billy, who some of you know because you're friends with him on Facebook, because he likes to stalk our friends list and friend those people. But he and I, we faced adversity together. We faced adversity together because brothers are put together like that. Chris Martinez is my brother. We face adversity together. We go and achieve success together. We go and celebrate our wins together. We go and fight for our families together. We go and build our relationships with others together. And that's what will make you successful in naming your pack. So today, what you need to take away from this is two things. One, accountability, authority, and action that you need to put in place to build your pack. The accountability to say, hey, I need help with this. The authority to say, when I struggle, you kick me in the butt, and the action to go do it. And then the other thing is to name out your pack, to name out who that pack is, to publicly say, Chris Martinez is my wolf pack. And as we begin to build that, we're going to continue to increase those numbers because there are other people that we want to put in that wolf pack together, because it's not just about me and him. It's about building a group of people that are going to march and do what the work is. Can I get an amen?
That's right. Amen, brother. So yeah, we were today is hey, happy birthday to the Mafia, by the way, man. Today is the Mafia. It's their 1 year birthday, so happy birthday to the Mafia. Every hour there was somebody in there talking. Charles Wilson was in there talking, and I noticed I didn't know this, to be honest with you, but Kevin Bronson said something, and then Charles said something back, and Kevin and Charles live in two different states, are in the same wolf pack. They're in the same accountability group. They're in the same goal setting group. I don't care what you call it. It's a wolf pack, right? And I was like, wow, I didn't even know you guys were even in that's pretty cool, right? Because Charles is like, man, I want to take my business to the next level. I want to take my life to the next level. And then there's Kevin. I want to take my business to the next level. And it turns out they got Derek Smallwood in their wolf pack. I mean, dude, it's just crazy. It's like, holy cow, these dudes got a wolf pack, and they're not trying to do it alone, right? So it's pretty cool. Just a story that I saw earlier that I was like, man, that's pretty neat, man, that my boy Charles is a part of a wolf pack that's there to hold them accountable. He's giving them authority. And you know what? Once you're in a wolf pack, you have to take action. Gary's not going to allow me to sit here and just talk. No, Chris, I need you to take action. Otherwise, hey, man, you may get left behind. But, you know, that's the part of the wolf pack is they're going to make you take action.
We got too many dreams to not let you take action. So, hey, guys.
That's right, man.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the Operation Dominate podcast. Just to wrap up real quick, lone wolves are losers, outcasts. They remain weak, and most importantly, they don't eat. So don't be a lone wolf. Don't be a lone wolf. Name your pack, and by doing that, you're going to build up. You're going to build up yourself. You're going to build up the others in the pack, and you're going to become a stronger individual. You can only become strong when you have others around you helping fight through adversity. So name that pack and walk into what your success is supposed to be. So thanks for hanging out. Chris Martinez in Houston, Texas. I'm Gary Guyman, and we want to help you dominate your life. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.